The galaxy was a busy place. Hundreds of worlds, thousands of ships, and countless beings lived under the ever-watchful eyes of the Galactic Council. Peace was fragile, and danger often came without warning. But nothing had ever prepared the inhabitants of the galactic hub of Zifferin for what was about to arrive. It began as a ripple in space, a strange signal detected by scouts on the edge of the system. At first, the signal seemed unimportant, a minor fleet passing through, perhaps. But then reports came in from other sectors. Ships were disappearing. Trading convoys vanished without a trace. Communication lines went silent. A shadow was moving through the stars, and it carried death with it. The being that caused this fear had a name whispered across the galaxy: the Xylar Vanguard. They were warriors unlike any others. Their ships were enormous, faster than any human or alien craft in the known galaxy. Their weapons could destroy planets if unleashed carelessly, and their warriors were said to be unbeatable in combat. In the trading hub of Zifferin, panic spread quickly. Alien ambassadors, merchants, and soldiers crowded the observation decks, staring at the distant blips on their screens. They were afraid. Even the strongest fighters in the galaxy did not know how to face such a threat. "Do you think they will attack Zifferon?" asked a Nervian general, his scales gleaming under the observation lights. Nervians were among the most respected warrior species, trained from birth for combat. Yet he felt a chill in his chest as he stared at the data. "They could," said a human diplomat calmly, standing among the chaos. Humans were a minority in the hub, but they carried an air of quiet confidence. Unlike the aliens who shouted and debated, humans observed, listened, and calculated. "We do not know their goal, but preparation is always better than panic." The alien generals laughed. "Prepare? You? You are tiny. Your fleets are insignificant. We will be crushed in hours if they come here." The human diplomat smiled slightly. "Underestimating your enemy is a mistake." Meanwhile, the human command center was alive with activity. Below the city, hidden in the mountains of Zifferin's largest moon, humans had already begun their preparations. Engineers, scientists, and strategists worked day and night. They did not panic. They did not shout. They moved with precision, guided by a plan that the galaxy would never expect. "Check the hyperdrive synchronizers," ordered Commander Lena, her voice calm but firm. "If the Xylar Vanguard tries to jump too close, we need to be ready. And double-check the defensive arrays. We cannot afford even a single failure." Her team worked efficiently. Every human knew their role. Civilians assisted in the construction of defensive structures and transport ships. Even children in training programs studied patterns of enemy movement, learning how to predict and respond. No one was idle. Every moment counted. Above them, the alien leaders continued their debate. They could not agree on a plan. Some wanted to flee, some wanted to fight, and some proposed sending envoys to negotiate. The galaxy's most experienced warriors, those who had fought wars that spanned decades, could not decide what to do. Their indecision spread fear across the other species. In contrast, humans remained silent in their preparation. They did not boast. They did not threaten. They only worked. And they worked with an intelligence that surprised even their own allies. "Commander," said Lieutenant Ral, a young human pilot, "the Xylar Vanguard fleet is moving faster than predicted. They will be in system in 72 hours. Lena nodded. "Then we have 72 hours. Not a minute more. Notify all units. Begin final preparations. Every ship, every drone, every defensive array must be ready." Back on the observation decks, alien eyes widened. Even the strongest among them were uneasy. They had never seen humans act like this. While others shouted, panicked, and argued, humans quietly prepared. And that calm, controlled behavior carried a weight that alien species had not anticipated. The first human fleet ships were small, nothing compared to the massive alien warships. Some were even old designs, refurbished and modified in secret. But they were clever. Stealth technology, advanced shields, and adaptive weapons gave them a hidden power. If the aliens attacked expecting an easy target, they would be in for a shock. On the surface of Zifferon, civilians were mobilized to help. Factories once used for trade goods were converted into workshops for drones, weapons, and small fighters. Engineers designed traps that could cripple enemy ships without risking human lives. Every plan had multiple backups. Every scenario had a response. Humans were ready, even if no one else could see it. Across the galaxy, scouts reported back. The Xylar vanguard was enormous. Their numbers were overwhelming. Ships of all sizes, weapons that could destroy planets, and warriors trained to kill with precision and speed. Many alien species trembled. Even the proudest soldiers began to doubt. But humans were calm. In the quiet chambers of the Human Command Center, Lena and her council studied every report. They discussed strategies that alien generals could not even imagine. Using intelligence, speed, and creativity, they found ways to turn their small numbers into an advantage. They built decoys, electronic traps, and hidden fleets. Every move was calculated. "Do you think they will notice?" asked Raoul, looking at a holographic map of the approaching fleet. "They will notice eventually," said Lena. "But by then, it will be too late. Humans do not rely on size or brute force. We rely on thinking, teamwork, and courage. That is our strength. And the galaxy will see it soon enough." In the midst of the panic outside, humans trained pilots tirelessly. Even those with little experience learned quickly. They practiced maneuvers, emergency landings, and evasive attacks. Each pilot was ready to fight in a battle they had never faced before. Meanwhile, alien leaders continued their arguments. Some wanted to evacuate the system. Others wanted to negotiate. A few, the strongest and most confident fighters, said they would face the humans' so-called fleet themselves. But even they hesitated. The calm humans made them uneasy. On the eve of the Xylar Vanguard's arrival, humans finished their preparations. Drones were in position. Ships were hidden. Mines floated silently in space. Every weak point was strengthened. Every scenario had a response. And yet, not a single human ship left a trace. Then, a small alien scouting vessel entered Zifferon's orbit. It hovered, observing, sending signals back to the massive fleet. The humans did not attack. They did not reveal their presence. They waited, calm and silent, letting the aliens assume superiority. The alien scout reported back, "Minimal defenses. Human fleet is small. Prepare for swift victory." The alien generals laughed, believing their victory was assured. But at that moment, deep in the Human Command Center, Lena looked at her team. She said softly, "Let them think we are weak. Let them laugh. When they are sure of victory, we will show them our true strength." The galaxy was about to witness a lesson it would never forget. Even the strongest fighters in the galaxy, the ones who had fought countless wars and survived the deadliest battles, would soon learn that humans were not to be underestimated. They were patient, they were clever, and they were ready. As Zifferon's moons turned in silent orbits around their planet, humans continued their work. Engineers adjusted shields, pilots checked ships, and commanders studied enemy patterns. Outside, the alien fleets grew closer, their shadows stretching across the stars. But humans remained calm. They were ready for the storm that was coming. And the galaxy, for all its power and pride, would learn that the smallest, quietest humans could outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast even the most feared warriors in the stars. In 72 hours, the Xylar Vanguard would arrive. And when they did, humans would be waiting, not with shouting, not with panic, not with fear, but with preparation, intelligence, and courage. The first battle of what would become a legendary story across the galaxy was about to begin. And in the silence of human strategy rooms, Lena whispered to herself, "Let them come. We are ready." The stars above Zifferon were quiet, yet a sense of tension hung in the space lanes. The Xylar Vanguard fleet moved steadily closer, massive warships cutting through the void like jagged shadows. Across the galaxy, every alien species felt the growing dread, but on Zifferon, humans remained calm. Beneath the planet's surface, hidden in deep tunnels and secret starports, humans worked tirelessly. Every light, Every hum of machinery and every step of engineers echoed purpose. They were preparing for a battle that the galaxy believed humans could never survive. Commander Lena stood on the observation deck of the largest hidden shipyard. Hundreds of ships were quietly being built and modified. They were small, swift vessels with shields far stronger than they looked. Their weapons were clever, precise, and deadly if used correctly. Humans had learned that brute force could not match a giant fleet, but intelligence and strategy could turn the tide. "Report," Lena said, her voice calm yet commanding. Lieutenant Ral stepped forward, holding a holographic map. "All units are on schedule. Stealth systems are operational. Mines are in position around key orbital points. Defensive drones are ready. Civilians trained in tactical coordination are prepared to assist if needed." "Good," Lena said. "Double-check the shield calibration. If they strike suddenly, we need every system functioning perfectly." Even the youngest humans were not idle. Teenagers trained as pilots ran simulations in virtual combat arenas. They studied alien patterns, learned evasive maneuvers, and practiced teamwork. Every human, no matter their age, understood that survival depended on preparation. Outside the hidden shipyards, the alien fleets moved closer. A massive forward Xylar ship hovered near Zifferon's orbit, sending out a pulse that scanned for signs of resistance. Alien commanders smirked. To them, humans were insignificant. Their fleets dwarfed any known human vessels. Their weapons could reduce cities to ash with a single strike. Yet, the aliens did not know what was hidden. In the tunnels beneath Zifferon, engineers worked on a new type of ship. It was small, unassuming, and almost invisible to most sensors. Its weapons could punch holes in the strongest alien hulls. This ship was designed not for frontal attacks but for ambushes, quick strikes, and confusing the enemy. "This will give us the advantage," said Dr. Mera, the lead engineer. "The aliens expect brute force. They do not expect cunning." Lena nodded. "That is why we survive. Preparation, not recklessness. Strategy, not fear. Intelligence, not pride." Humans also relied on the environment. Zifferon's orbit was filled with asteroid fields and hidden debris. The engineers positioned mines and traps among these natural obstacles. Any alien ship moving too fast would risk collision, and stealth drones could attack from multiple directions. Lieutenant Raoul smiled. "They will think it is natural debris, but it will be deadly." Meanwhile, alien generals were growing frustrated. Their communications were slow and unreliable. Reports came in that some scouting ships had vanished without a trace. Panic rippled through the Xylar command. "They are preparing," hissed a Nervian general. "I do not understand it. Their fleet is tiny. They cannot resist us." "They are humans," said another alien, a Sci-Fi warrior. "They are always quiet, always clever, always dangerous in ways we do not see until it is too late." Humans, however, did not wait for the enemy to strike. They practiced small-scale skirmishes in preparation. Drones simulated attacks on human ships. Pilots performed maneuvers that would confuse any enemy. Every mistake was noted, corrected, and turned into a lesson. Even civilians participated. Factories produced spare parts, energy cores, and emergency supplies. Families in the hidden colonies were trained to respond to alarms and assist in transport and defense operations. Zifferon itself became a fortress, but one hidden in plain sight. The aliens would see a peaceful world and think humans were weak, but the truth was far different. One night, as humans worked tirelessly, Lieutenant Ral watched a small ship glide silently from its hangar. Its weapons were loaded, its shields charged. "It is ready," he whispered. Lena placed a hand on his shoulder. "Not yet. Patience is part of the plan. If they see it too soon, they will adapt. Let them believe humans are unprepared. Then, when they strike, we will show them the truth." Time passed quickly. The Xylar vanguard approached. Their fleet grew larger in the scanners. It was twice the size humans had expected. But there was no panic. Humans increased their preparation. Every trap was checked. Every ship was positioned. Every pilot knew their role. Dr. Mera walked among the engineers. "We have limited time," she said, "but we are ready. The aliens expect chaos. We will give them order. The galaxy underestimates humans, but that is our strength." On the surface, civilians continued to assist. They moved supplies, repaired small ships, and assisted in running communications. Even children carried messages or helped coordinate drone patterns. Every human, no matter how small, had a part to play. The alien scouts continued to hover above Xipheron, sending signals back to the Vanguard fleet. They reported minimal resistance, weak defenses, and an underprepared population. Alien generals laughed, confident of their easy victory. But humans had one advantage the aliens could not see. They worked together. Every human understood the plan, every step connected to the next. They could respond to surprises, adapt to unexpected attacks, and use intelligence to overcome strength. At last, Lena called for a final assembly of the command crew. "This is the last day before contact," she said. "Tomorrow, the Vanguard will arrive. We do not know what their first move will be, but we know we are ready. Our strength is not in numbers. It is in preparation, in unity, and in courage. Remember that." The crew nodded. They had trained, worked, and sacrificed for this moment. They were ready. Night fell over Xipheron. The hidden shipyards glowed with quiet light. Small ships hummed with energy, ready to move at a moment's notice. Mines floated silently in the orbital fields. Pilots slept in shifts, knowing that when the time came, they would be awake and ready. In the alien fleet above, tension grew. Some warriors began to doubt. "Why are humans not panicking?" asked one Sci-Fi fighter. "Their fleet is tiny, they should be running." "They are humans," replied a Xylar officer. "Do not assume you understand them. They are dangerous in ways we cannot predict, but soon we will see their weakness." Back in the tunnels, Lena watched the stars above. She did not speak of fear, only of strategy. Every possible scenario had a response. Every weakness of the enemy had been studied. And humans had a secret, one that the galaxy had never seen before. "We are ready," she whispered. "Let them come." The Xylar Vanguard fleet continued its approach. Even the strongest fighters in the galaxy were uneasy. Humans did not rush, did not shout, did not panic. They prepared. And that preparation, quiet and steady, was their greatest weapon. Soon, the first signs of contact would appear. Small ships would dart into the asteroid fields, drones would confuse enemy sensors, and hidden traps would strike. The aliens would believe they faced a weak, unprepared enemy. They would be wrong. And when the first human ships moved, they would move as one. Every pilot, every drone, every weapon, every human mind would work in perfect coordination. That unity, that preparation, would make humans stronger than anyone imagined. As the hours passed, Lieutenant Rao trained the youngest pilots. "Remember," he said, "never act alone. Think, communicate, trust each other. The aliens expect panic. We give them calm and control." In another hangar, engineers checked weapons one last time. "All systems green," said Dr. Mehra. "Their arrogance will be their downfall. They think they are gods. But humans think differently. That is why we survive." On the surface, civilians watched the stars. They could see the distant shadows of the massive alien fleet. They were afraid, but they trusted the humans leading them. They had a role to play. Every citizen, every worker, every volunteer understood that unity was stronger than fear. And deep underground, Commander Lena prepared for the moment when humans would show the galaxy their true strength. They would not fight for glory. They would not fight for pride. They would fight for survival. And in that fight, they would be unstoppable. The galaxy's strongest warriors, the ones who had never known defeat, would soon learn that humans were not to be underestimated. Not because of size, not because of weapons, not because of brute force, but because of intelligence, courage, and preparation. And all the while, humans remained calm, working in silence, ready for the storm that would come. The Xylar Vanguard fleet was close now. Only hours remained. Humans checked and rechecked every plan, every system, every pilot. They were ready. And when the first battle began, The galaxy would see that preparation is as powerful as strength, and unity is stronger than fear. Even the strongest fighters in the galaxy would watch in silence because the humans were ready. And that readiness would change the galaxy forever. The first light of Ziphiron's twin suns stretched across the planet's surface, casting long shadows over the hidden shipyards. Above, the Xylar Vanguard fleet had entered orbit. Thousands of enormous warships blocked the stars, their weapons glowing ominously. The aliens were confident. Their scouts reported minimal resistance, and they believed victory was all but guaranteed. But humans had prepared. In the underground command centers, Commander Lena studied the fleet through advanced sensors. Every ship, every weapon system, every weak point was mapped. The humans did not rush. They did not panic. They waited, calm and silent, knowing that the galaxy's strongest fighters would soon learn that intelligence and preparation were as deadly as strength and firepower. "Lieutenant Ral," Lena said, pointing at the holographic display, "we've identified gaps in their formation. Forward observation ships are spaced too far apart. That is where we begin." Ral nodded. "We can use stealth ships to approach without detection. Then we strike precisely and retreat before they know what hit them." Humans moved like a shadow beneath the stars. Small stealth vessels slipped out from hidden hangars, gliding silently through asteroid fields and debris. Each ship was fast, agile, and armed with precision weapons. The Xylar Vanguard's enormous ships could destroy cities, but these small human vessels could attack where it hurt most: the sensors, engines, and command cores. On one of the stealth ships, a young pilot named Joran gripped the controls. He had trained for years for this moment. His hands moved quickly, confidently, adjusting shields and targeting systems. Every calculation was precise. He glanced at his co-pilot, Mara, who smiled. "Ready?" she asked. "Always," Joran replied. The humans were not reckless. They had studied the Xylar Vanguard fleet. They knew its strengths, but more importantly, they knew its weaknesses. Long-range sensors were vulnerable to electronic interference. Engine compartments could be destabilized with targeted strikes. Command ships were often shielded, but their protection systems had patterns humans could exploit. "Engage stealth mode," Lena ordered. "Initiate first strike." The small human fleet moved through the shadows, invisible to the massive alien scouts above. A single misstep could mean destruction, but humans had prepared for every contingency. Drones accompanied the ships, jamming sensors and providing decoy signals. The first contact was brief but deadly. One forward alien observation ship, massive and heavily armed, drifted too close to a hidden asteroid field. Humans struck with precision. Energy pulses disabled the ship's engines. Stealth drones delivered a concentrated blast to its core systems. Within moments, the alien ship drifted silently, incapacitated but intact. Evidence of human precision rather than reckless destruction. Back in the human command center, the crew watched the results with calm satisfaction. "Good," Lena said. "This will confuse them. They will think it is a minor incident, not a coordinated strike." As the day passed, humans continued their strategy. Small skirmishes tested the enemy's reactions. Human pilots executed daring maneuvers through asteroid belts, dodging enemy fire while striking at weak points. Drones created false signals, making the Xylar Vanguard scanners chase shadows. Every move was calculated, every strike planned. The alien generals grew frustrated. They could not understand why their massive fleet, their unbeatable warriors, could not locate the human forces. "How is this possible?" demanded a Xylar commander. "We have numbers, strength, and weapons beyond imagining. Yet they elude us. They are clever." "They are humans," said a Sci-Fi officer quietly. "They are always clever. We underestimate them at our peril." Humans, however, did not gloat. They stayed focused on preparation. Each ship returned to hidden stations after every strike. Damaged drones were repaired immediately. Pilots rested, recalibrated, and trained for the next encounter. Civilians assisted by providing real-time calculations, repair parts, and logistical support. The entire planet functioned as a coordinated system. Joran and Mara, after another successful maneuver, returned to the hangar. Joran removed his helmet, sweat glistening on his forehead. "They can't touch us," he said, awe in his voice. "We're too fast, too smart." Mara nodded. "They don't know we're ready for the real fight yet. They think this is the first strike, but it's just the beginning." Commander Lena walked through the hangar, checking on each pilot. "Good work today," she said. "Remember, the first skirmishes are tests. Observe the enemy. Learn their patterns. We are not attacking for glory. We are preparing to survive." Meanwhile, deeper in the orbital mines, engineers set up massive traps. These were not just mines, but coordinated systems of explosives, shields, and decoy signals. Any alien ship entering the area would find itself surrounded, attacked from multiple angles, and forced to retreat or face destruction. Dr. Mera oversaw the final calibration. "If one ship survives and reports back, they will think it was an accident," she said. "If multiple ships fall into the trap, they will be forced to change formation, and that is when humans will strike again." Above Zifferon, alien warriors began to doubt themselves. Even the strongest fighters, who had never known defeat, felt unease. Their scouts had reported nothing but strange, fleeting shadows. Ships disappeared only to reappear in unexpected places. Systems failed in ways they could not explain. On the human side, coordination reached perfection. Pilots communicated silently with drones. Engineers anticipated every need before it arose. Civilians acted as support, monitoring supply lines and calculating enemy movement. Every human, from the youngest pilot to the oldest engineer, was part of the plan. The calm before the storm stretched into hours. Humans did not relax. They continued drills, repairs, and studies of the enemy fleet. Each moment built confidence, not arrogance. They knew that the Xylar vanguard would soon act decisively, thinking the humans were weak. That moment was exactly what humans had prepared for. In a briefing room, Lena outlined the next steps. "The Vanguard's main fleet will arrive within 12 hours. The skirmishes today were just tests. We now know how they react to surprise attacks. Tomorrow, we will execute the traps we have prepared in orbit. We will strike where they are weakest, then retreat to safety. Every ship must follow orders exactly." Ral raised a hand. "Commander, what about the civilian population above? Will they be safe?" "They will be," Lena replied. "The alien fleet believes humans are weak. That is their advantage. We have evacuated key areas and reinforced defensive systems. Civilians may see flashes in the sky, but they will be protected. Our priority is their safety and the preservation of our forces." The alien fleet shifted, preparing for what they assumed would be a simple attack. Their confidence was total. They did not yet see the humans' plan. Every massive warship, every elite warrior, every advanced weapon system believed victory was inevitable. Joran trained in the flight simulators for the night shift. His fingers moved over the controls with practiced ease. "They think they are gods," he muttered to himself. "They have no idea we are ready." At the same time, hidden beneath the planet, engineers completed the final adjustments to the orbital traps. Mines were positioned, energy fields activated, and decoy signals calibrated. Any alien ship entering the designated zones would trigger a coordinated response, facing simultaneous attacks from drones, stealth ships, and hidden energy pulses. Dr. Mera watched the displays with satisfaction. "They will enter believing they are invincible," she said quietly. "We will show them the difference between arrogance and intelligence." As Zifferon's twin suns set, casting a golden glow across the planet, humans prepared for the final hours before contact. Pilots rested, engineers checked systems, civilians reinforced supplies. Every human knew their role. Every human understood the importance of calm, silent preparation. And above them, the Xylar Vanguard fleet cast enormous shadows across the stars. Even the strongest fighters in the galaxy were uneasy. Humans were not moving recklessly. Humans were not panicking. They were preparing, and preparation was a weapon more powerful than most aliens understood. In the quiet of the command center, Lena stood before her crew. Tomorrow, she said, we will show the galaxy what humans can do. Not through strength alone, but through intelligence, teamwork, and courage. Every moment we have spent preparing has brought us to this point. Tomorrow, the Vanguard will learn that humans are not to be underestimated. The night passed quietly, but tension remained. Hidden ships moved silently, drones hummed through the tunnels, and civilians remained vigilant. Every human was awake to some degree, ready for the battle that was coming. And when the first strike began, the humans' preparation would reveal its full power. Every plan, every trap, every pilot's skill would combine to show the galaxy that even the smallest humans could outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast the most feared warriors in the stars. The calm before the storm had ended. The storm itself was about to begin. And when it did, the strongest fighters in the galaxy would stay quiet. Not out of fear, but out of awe. Humans were ready. And the Xylar Vanguard would soon discover exactly why preparation, intelligence, and unity made humans unstoppable. The stars above Zephyron shimmered with quiet tension. The Xylar Vanguard fleet, massive and seemingly unstoppable, loomed over the planet. Thousands of warships blotted out the heavens, their weapons glowing ominously, ready to fire. The aliens believed their victory was inevitable. Their confidence was absolute. But humans had waited. They had observed, prepared, and perfected every detail of their plan. And now, the time had come. Commander Lena stood in the central command room, calm as ever. Around her, the crew monitored every movement of the alien fleet. Every ship, every drone, every trap had been positioned with precision. Initiate Phase 1, Lena said. In the hidden orbital zones, stealth ships moved silently. Drones activated decoy signals, creating false readings across the Vanguard's sensors. Alien warships shifted their formations, chasing shadows that were not real. Mines floated silently in the asteroid fields, waiting for the unsuspecting enemy. Jorn gripped the controls of his small stealth fighter, eyes sharp and focused. All systems green. Ready to engage, he said. Mara, his co-pilot, nodded. Let's show them what humans can do. The first strike hit like a whisper in the dark. One of the massive Xylar forward command ships drifted too close to a trap. Mines detonated simultaneously, disabling engines and shields. Stealth ships fired precision energy pulses at weak points, further crippling the massive vessel. Within minutes, the command ship was paralyzed, drifting silently as if a phantom hand had stopped it. From the command center, humans watched the alien fleet react with confusion. Their elite fighters had expected a small, weak enemy. Instead, they found themselves facing a precise, coordinated, and intelligent force. Phase 2, Lena ordered. Activate hidden artillery and orbital drones. Engage simultaneously. Energy beams erupted from hidden orbital stations. Drones attacked from multiple directions, striking sensors and weapon systems. Alien warships fired blindly, unable to target the invisible ships moving around them. Chaos spread through the Vanguard fleet, but humans remained calm, coordinated, and precise. Even the strongest alien fighters were stunned. The pride they had carried for centuries could not comprehend what was happening. Their massive fleets, weapons, and warriors were being neutralized by what they had considered insignificant humans. They are too coordinated, a Xylar general whispered, disbelief in his voice. How can this be happening? They are humans, another replied. We underestimated them. That is our mistake. On the surface, civilians watched distant flashes of energy in the sky. Panic could have erupted, but humans had planned for every scenario. Energy shields protected cities, emergency systems guided citizens to safety, and evacuation protocols ensured that no lives were lost unnecessarily. Humanity's intelligence was not limited to the battlefield. It extended to protecting their own. Joren maneuvered his stealth ship through an asteroid field, avoiding fire from a massive alien destroyer. He fired precision energy pulses at the ship's engine compartments, slowing it down. Mara adjusted the targeting system. Their formation is collapsing, she said. They don't know where we are. Exactly, Joren replied. We strike smart, we retreat fast. That's the human way. Commander Lena monitored every strike, adjusting plans in real time. Redirect drone units to the southern flank. Orbital mines trigger on next approach. Stealth ships prepare to intercept. Every command was executed with precision. Humans worked as a single organism, every individual a part of a greater whole. The aliens attempted to retaliate. Massive energy blasts streaked across space, targeting where they thought human ships were hiding. But decoys and advanced stealth technology made the attacks miss, striking empty space or harmless asteroids. Meanwhile, smaller human ships carried out daring maneuvers. They entered narrow asteroid fields, weaving through tight gaps that massive alien warships could not follow. From these positions, they fired concentrated energy bursts at vital systems of the largest ships, creating panic and confusion. The Xylar Vanguard fleet's arrogance was shattered. Their elite fighters, once confident and unshakable, now moved with caution, fear creeping into their hearts. Even the strongest among them stayed quiet, watching the humans carefully, realizing that size and strength were not always enough. On Zifferon's surface, Lena smiled quietly. This is exactly what we prepared for. Observe, confuse, and strike. They are learning our way, too late. Phase 3 of the human plan began. The hidden fleet, previously undetected, emerged from stealth positions. Massive human warships, built in secret, glided into the fray. Though smaller than most Xylar ships, they were faster, smarter, and armed with adaptive weapons designed specifically to exploit the Vanguard's weaknesses. Energy beams cut through the fleet, striking engines, command centers, and weapon arrays. Alien warships faltered, some drifting helplessly. Even the strongest alien fighters could not respond effectively. The humans' coordination, preparation, and intelligence overwhelmed brute force. In a daring maneuver, Joran and Mara led a small group of pilots through a tight canyon of floating asteroids. They targeted a massive command vessel, weaving between incoming fire. With precision, they disabled the ship's main engine and fired a pulse that knocked out its shields. The once mighty warship now floated, paralyzed. The alien generals were stunned. Their plans had failed. Their fleet, the largest and most feared in the galaxy, could not adapt fast enough. Every move the humans made was calculated, precise, and devastating. "They are unstoppable," whispered a Nervian fighter, awe and fear mingling in his voice. "Even the smallest humans can destroy massive ships." "They are humans," said another quietly. "We did not see it coming. We cannot match their intelligence, coordination, or courage." Even with their massive numbers, the Vanguard fleet began to retreat. Their formation collapsed under relentless, precise attacks. Human pilots pursued when it was safe, striking at weak points and then retreating to safety. Every encounter emphasized strategy over brute strength. Back in the command center, Lena watched the retreating fleet. She allowed herself a small smile. They believed size was everything. They have learned that preparation, intelligence, and teamwork are stronger. Dr. Mera entered the room. It worked perfectly. The orbital traps, stealth ships, and drones, they all hit as planned. The Vanguard's fleet is in chaos. "And our people are safe?" Lena asked. "Safe and accounted for," Dr. Mera replied. "Not a single civilian casualty. Our preparation covered every scenario." As night fell on Zifferon, the alien fleet had retreated beyond sensor range. The stars were quiet again, though the galaxy had seen what humans could do. The Xylar Vanguard, once feared across the stars, had learned a lesson. Humans could not be underestimated. In the aftermath, humans repaired damaged ships, replenished supplies, and debriefed pilots. Every success was analyzed, every lesson learned. Even in victory, humans prepared for the future, knowing the galaxy would continue to test them. Joran stood on the deck of his ship, looking at the stars. Mara joined him. "They won't forget this," she said. "No," Joran replied. "And we won't forget how we did it. Calm, preparation, teamwork. That is our strength." Commander Lena addressed the fleet. "Today, humans have shown the galaxy that we are more than small numbers. We are intelligence, courage, and preparation in action. Let this be known. Even the strongest fighters in the galaxy must stay quiet while humans prepare. Across the galaxy, reports spread. Even the mightiest fleets, the most feared warriors, and the most powerful empires watched silently. Humans had turned apparent weakness into unbeatable strength. Intelligence, preparation, and courage had won the day where sheer force had failed. And somewhere, deep in the stars, the Xylar Vanguard fleet regrouped, stunned, humbled, and wary. They had learned a lesson they would not soon forget. Humans were not to be underestimated. Back on Zipheron, celebrations were quiet but heartfelt. Pilots, engineers, civilians, all had contributed to the victory. Humans had survived the impossible, and the galaxy had seen their strength. Yet Lena knew this was only the beginning. Other threats would come, but humans had shown that size and firepower were not the only measure of strength. They had proven that intelligence, courage, and preparation could make the smallest force unstoppable. And in that calm night above Zipheron, humans prepared once more, not for panic, not for fear, but for the future. A galaxy that had laughed at their weakness would now respect their strength. The stars were quiet again, but humans were ready, always ready. And the galaxy, even its strongest fighters, would watch in silence, knowing that when humans prepared, no force could stand against them.